ToddYoungONLINE presents Young Tales. Tales for the young and the young at heart. Today's story, Bulfinch's Mythology, Stories of Gods and Heroes. The story of Ceyx and Halcyone. In the peaceful kingdom of Thessaly, King Ceyx ruled with wisdom and gentleness, a ruler beloved by his people. His golden hair and radiant beauty reflected his divine lineage as the son of Hesperus, the evening star. Yet even the brightest stars are not immune to grief, and Ceyx mourned deeply for the recent loss of his brother. As omens and strange portents troubled the land, Ceyx resolved to journey to Ionia to consult the oracle of Apollo. But when he shared his plan with his wife Halcyon, her heart filled with dread. Halcyon, the daughter of Aeolus, god of the winds, knew too well the fury of the seas. Her eyes widened in fear, and she grasped her husband's hands. "My love, why must you leave me?" she pleaded, her voice trembling. "Have I done something to drive you away? Do the comforts of our home no longer satisfy you?" Tears welled in her eyes. "I have seen the wrath of the winds, how they wrestle with the waves until fire itself leaps from the sea. If you must go, then let me come with you. I cannot bear to sit idly while you face the dangers of the ocean alone." Ceyx cupped her face gently, brushing away her tears. His own heart ached to see her sorrow, but he could not bring himself to risk her life on such a perilous voyage. "I promise," he whispered, "by the light of my father's star that I shall return before the moon has twice waxed full." Despite her lingering fears, Halcyon kissed him farewell as he boarded his ship. As the sails caught the wind and the vessel drifted from shore, she stood upon the dock, waving until the faint outline of his form faded into the horizon. The voyage began under clear skies, but as night fell and the halfway mark approached, dark clouds gathered. A fierce wind swept across the sea, and the calm waters turned violent. The sailors scrambled to secure the ship, but the storm roared louder than their shouts. Waves towered over the vessel, lifting it toward the heavens before plunging it into the abyss below. Rain lashed against the deck, and lightning splintered the mast in two. Amidst the chaos, Ceyx clung to the broken planks, his body bruised by the sea's relentless force. As the ship began to break apart, his thoughts drifted to Halcyon. "Halcyon!" he cried into the storm, "forgive me for leaving you. May the waves carry my body to your shore so that you may lay me to rest with your own hands." With her name upon his lips, the sea swallowed him whole. Days passed, and Halcyon continued to watch the horizon, unaware of the tragedy that had unfolded. Each morning, she laid offerings at the temple of Juno, praying for Ceyx's safe return. But the queen of the gods, moved by pity for the grieving wife, could not bear to see Halcyon's prayers go unanswered. She summoned Iris, goddess of the rainbow, and whispered instructions into her ear. "Fly to the house of sleep," Juno commanded. "Bid Somnus send a dream to Halcyon, a vision of truth, for Ceyx will not return." Iris, draped in her cloak of many colors, crossed the heavens and descended to the shadowy realm of Somnus, where sleep reigned eternal. The air was thick and still, and silence wrapped itself around the cave like a shroud. Poppies grew in abundance at the entrance, their heavy heads nodding under the weight of drowsiness. Iris approached Somnus, and in a voice barely above a whisper, she relayed Juno's command. With a wave of his hand, Somnus summoned his son Morpheus, the master of dreams, who could take the shape of any mortal. "Morpheus," said the god of sleep, "go to Halcyon. Take the form of Ceyx and deliver the truth." That night, Halcyon drifted into uneasy slumber. In her dream, Ceyx appeared before her, his body pale, his hair wet with sea foam, and his eyes hollow with sorrow. "Halcyon," he whispered, "my beloved, I am lost to you. The sea claimed me, and I will not return. Mourn for me, and let your love be the wind that carries me to peace." Halcyon stretched out her arms to embrace him, but the vision dissolved into mist. She awoke with a cry, her heart breaking as the truth settled over her like a veil of mourning. At dawn, Halcyon walked to the seashore, her gaze fixed upon the waves. As she stood upon the rocks where she had last kissed Ceyx goodbye, she saw something drifting towards the shore. Her breath caught in her throat. It was a body. As the waves drew it closer, recognition pierced her heart like an arrow. It was Ceyx. Ceyx! She cried, stretching her arms toward the sea. Overwhelmed by grief, she leapt from the rocks, but as she fell, her body began to change. Feathers replaced her skin, and her outstretched arms became slender wings. No longer a woman, but a bird, a Halcyon, she skimmed across the surface of the water, circling the lifeless form of her husband. Touched by their love, the gods took pity on them both. Ceyx's spirit rose from the sea, joining Halcyon in the sky. Transformed into birds, they flew together, forever united above the waters that had once separated them. To honor their devotion, Aeolus, Halcyon's father, calms the winds for 7 days each winter, allowing the sea to rest while his daughter nests upon its surface. Those tranquil days, known as the Halcyon days, bring peace to sailors and remind the world of the eternal bond between Ceyx and Halcyon, a love that endures even beyond death. And here's where we end for today. Young Tales is produced and narrated by Todd Young from ToddYoungONLINE. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and join us next time for another story. Thank you for your support.